We just got stopped by the French police. I don't know if it's because I'm filming everything and that looks suspicious. That was a little bit like, oh, why us? Because they weren't flagging everybody.
And the president is in town today.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Maybe we'll see him. Arriving in Marseille, France on the Virgin Voyage's Valiant lady, we were excited to go exploring on our first port stop of our 7-day sailing. Just off the ship were shuttle buses to take us to the entrance to the city.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Wow. Up on the hill, look at it. How did we get here and how are we going there?
How did we get here? On a cruise ship?
No.
We did not just walk off the ship.
You should not attempt
to
walk off the ship.
I don't think they will let you walk the port, but even if they did allow it, or you started to,
don't do it.
There's a shuttle. Get on the
shuttle. It was a long shuttle. But the shuttle bus was right off the ship.
Yes.
Super easy to just hop on. Complimentary. Like, easy. Do that.
And then it will let you off right by the Museum, or the Fort Saint-Jean, which is what's right next to us. Basically, it's the museums of European civilization would be the correct English translation, I guess. We are walking past it to get to the Petit Garde Tourisme, the little tourist train, which is €9, I think, for each of us to go up there and back.
I did not bring a hat. I did not put on sunscreen.
No.
So wish me luck.
Yes.
I mean, there's a little sunscreen in my makeup, but the rest of me, just free for the taking. Yeah. We just got stopped by the French police. But they stopped us and we're talking in French, and we were like, oh no. They were like, you speak English.
I said he said, you speak English. I said, much better than French.
Oh my gosh, it's the cutest little train you ever saw. For those of you that watch Daniel Tiger, ding ding, this is trolley, guys. We're gonna ride trolley. It was €9 a person?
€9 per person.
No cards.
No credit cards.
But we had euro, so we're good. We have our tickets, and we were like one of the first people in line, but it's 10:20, and the first train they say won't leave until 11. So yes. We're gonna go get some water and some shade.
Yeah.
So much like the Feast of St. John interrupted some of our plans in Barcelona, the visit of President Macron here in Marseille today has interrupted some of our plans, and that's okay. We're just learning how to be flexible and have enough plans and backup plans that you can still fill the day whenever the thing that you want to do becomes a little dicey. So we have left the train. We may come back to it later in the day, but for now we're going to move on to the next activity, because at one point they said the train was going to not go until 11, and then they said 11:40, and then they said we can't get through, it's all blocked off for Macron. So later, we'll do it later. A lot of police presence. A lot of police presence. Palais Longchamp is primarily this fountain structure that was built in 1835. There was a cholera outbreak. French knew that they needed a clean source of water to help stop all the illness, and so they said, we need to build a water source. So this is a very French answer to the need for clean water.
There's nothing like the second you walk off the streetcar and you all of a sudden make this left, and you're like, oh.
Like, this does not capture the scale. I feel badly. It's ginormous. And no. And can you believe all that water is Perrier? Just kidding. Max Consola. This guy's definitely a haunted mansion. Nick just noticed in his really skilled French reading that the tramway tickets are good for 59 minutes. So we probably could have gotten here, seen the fountain, and gotten on to go back on one ticket. But we bought round trip, so that's okay.
They're also round trip per person, €3.50. So
Not too bad.
not bad.
Since we are gluten and dairy free, finding local lunch options always takes a little planning in advance. Grain de Sable was a local hidden gem that was totally unexpected.
What do you think?
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a broccoli pea basil cold soup with a coconut matcha foam or cream on top. It's delicious. And thankfully it's cold. I was a little worried it was a hot soup, given that it's 90 degrees out. So our small plate, so it's 2 items, comes with a little salad on the side that I wasn't expecting, but that's lovely. And then this is a zucchini curry
Zucchini curry,
with
almonds,
and
fried onions.
there does not seem to be a lot of English spoken in the area here, so we should have come prepared with a few more phrases to be prepared, but the menu is exceptionally well marked, so I'm not concerned.
And the menu changes.
Every week.
Every week they make a new menu. So you can plan ahead, but not too far. It's so refreshing. I feel so good about this meal. I've tried the little side salad, and it has a really yummy Dijon-y sweet dressing on it. I love that everything they do here, there's only like 6 items on the menu, but they do it really well. We've been warned that the curry is hot. Spicy. I mean, it was hot too. You could see the steam as they were plating it, so I gave it a minute to cool off. But if it's spicy, I want to save a little bit of my soup for afterwards in case I need to cool off. All those toppings. It has a little kick, but it's not, I mean, it may grow on me. You know, jury's still out. All of the toppings give it a lot of layers and textures and some really nice crunch. And the cilantro. The cilantro is a nice coolness too. That somehow makes a hot curry great for summer.
Honestly, the thing that gets me really excited is the fried onions.
Yeah, the fried onions and cilantro are so good.
Because we're so used to like these battered onion things, and so we can't eat them, but
Really good.
yeah.
And Nick got the rosé, and I'm stealing a sip of it, but their wines are organic. You can eat your last bite. And what is your dessert?
I have the pistachio flan. And what do you have?
I have a citron dome. And both of these are gluten-free and lactose-free. So the bottom is a little financier cake. Citrusy and light. And that financier tastes like it should not be gluten-free, but it is.
I mean, there is a gel factor to both desserts. But the lemon and coconut flavor on this one, I think this one's the winner.
It's the zest on it.
Yeah.
Literal and figurative. I actually think the pistachio flan is a really good match for our lunch because our lunch had curry flavors. The coconut in the soup made it, I mean, when I think broccoli soup, I think of like Panera, but this was not. This was a coconut broccoli soup that had a really complementary flavor to the curry. And this flan has pistachios, and what I didn't expect, there's a rosewater flavor to it. That's what it is.
Yep.
The pistachio and rosewater is also very complementary to some of those Indian profiles. It's really beautiful dish. The texture on flan always gets me a little bit, but I think the flavors are yum. I say just yummy about everything. I'm sorry, I'll find more words for yummy. And if it makes you start to sing Justin Bieber every time, I apologize, me too. The setting is very bohemian, and the menus are French approach, but they're still very Pan-Asian. The Indian takes, the Asian bowls. It's really well executed, but really interesting flavors. This is unexpected, I think, is my favorite definition of how this lunch went. I'm so impressed, but it was unexpected. Mick wanted me to show you guys the bathrooms because it's kind of hilarious. Those steps to the toilet.
Then lunch was done and we headed back to check on the Petit train.
I just want to point out, if you want to stay close to the tourist spots here at the waterfront, where all the yachts are, and you can see the cathedral up on the hill, you can. There are lots of restaurants. And it's clearly where all the tourists stay. There are gift shops and things. You could definitely fill your time here. We ended up going further into the city. It felt very much like a modern city with some historic architecture, some cool museums and things we passed too. But then we went further than that into the neighborhood where the restaurant was, and we felt like we stood out like sore thumbs for a couple of blocks there. But once we got into the restaurant, it was a great local find, and it filled up with folks. So clearly everyone knows the food there is delicious.
And it was marked, the door was marked with a lot of things like TripAdvisor and Lonely Planet markings, which communicate like, oh, this is a tourist place. It wasn't a tourist place by any stretch of the imagination.
It wasn't a touristy neighborhood. It was a tourist-friendly restaurant
They were-
in a very local neighborhood.
They were tourist-friendly, but also not a place where, it was not,
Like, you can't show up and not know any French without a bit of a struggle.
yeah, yes.
We made it on the train! We are so glad we didn't just stick around waiting for the train this morning. Left, did other activities, came back, let all the people who needed to be in that crush of first round of people have their time, and come back when things were a little more mellow. We loaded right on.
Notre Dame de la Garde is at the top of the hill, giving the best views of the port and city below. The locals call it La Bonne Mer, and worshippers' prayers for safe ocean voyages have persisted for generations in this port town, as shown in the nautical touches of the building's beautiful design. Before returning to the train, we stopped at the pay toilets, which baffled some of the American visitors, and then headed down, and I mean down, the steep hills back to the train's start.
That was such a lovely, successful day.
Very happy with how that all turned out.
We did have the option of going to the museum after this. It's the Museum of European Culture.
The Mucan, which I'm sure I'm not saying right.
But it's getting, one, it's really hot, so we're thinking about just taking it easy and not overextending ourselves. This is our first port day on this sailing, and we don't want to exhaust ourselves. Speaking of exhaust, walking by a bus.
Bus exhaust.
Blech. So we're gonna cut it short and not do the museum, because we managed to get to the fountains on the streetcar. We managed to take the train, the little trolley train, up to the cathedral. So
And an amazing lunch.
the lunch was incredible, but with all the extra walking in the heat, I do have a workout scheduled that I'm excited about this afternoon that you will find on a different video about all the entertainment on board. So check that out, but I want to go cool off and get changed into my workout clothes. So we're not gonna go to the museum and stretch every last second out of this day.
That'll be the next time we're in Marseille.
There you go. There's always next time.
I will say, there's a sort of an urban grittiness to the port.
This is more city than I expected it to be.
This is a city.
I thought it was going to be like a quaint French village. It's a city.
No, it's a city.
Yeah. It has some very old elements, but it's a city. So let's get back on board. It was a great outing.
Yeah.
Here's, I hope you guys got some ideas of what you can do when
or
or what you can eat when you're in port in Marseille. Have a great day, travelers. Bye.
We still have to show you around Ibiza, Majorca, and Cannes, so make sure you subscribe to join us on all the Virgin Voyages adventures and more. Comment below with which port you can't wait to see. And thank you so much for watching.